Good afternoon, Gaurav. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. What about you?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Actually, it's sunny there after such a long time, so I'm feeling fresh as a daisy, I would say.
Okay.
Yes. Okay, so there is a ritual before we move further. We should introduce each other so that we can have idea. So I want to know a little bit more about you.
Yeah, my name is Gaurav. I was born and brought up in Delhi. Uh, Regarding my educational qualification, I am graduate from University of Delhi. And after that, I started working in some of the multinationals. I worked there for 1.5 or almost 2 years. And then I moved into teaching profession. I started my own institute. And I have been running an institute for almost 14 or 13 years. I teach English there.
Okay. Oh God. Okay. So I'm sitting in front of an experienced tutor. That's wonderful.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I consider myself a student.
That's the, I would say, beauty of a good teacher.
Hmm.
Because I also consider myself a learner. I believe life always teaches us, so we can't say that we know everything now. So that's wonderful
Yeah,
thing.
there is a plenty to learn from life, and
Yes.
now let's go ahead and let's know something about you. I consider myself a learner, so it's all about exchanging knowledge, and we get to
Yes.
know a lot of things about different aspects of life, and many more things. So, like, how long have you been teaching online?
Now I can say it's been 8 years.
8 years.
Yes, earlier I used to teach English as a subject, but now I have just switched to English language, spoken English or communication skills, I would say, because I also want to groom myself. So that I think if I can't step out, so this is the best way how I can create that environment and how can
Mhm.
I learn. Because there was a time when I used to get stuck, I used to get fumble, and I found that my vocabulary was kind of old version.
Okay.
So I love having interaction with young people because I am a biggest fan of idioms, phrases, and all those slangs. I would say you people use in your WhatsApp conversation. So that's the reason. Moreover, I love the idea that you people are having those startups now. You because I think today's generation is pretty smart.
Hmm.
They know how to create opportunities for themselves. As
Yeah.
you just mentioned earlier, you worked in multinational companies also, but then you switched to this
Yeah.
profession and you are running your own institution. You didn't wait for any other options or opportunities. You just created a very good environment for yourself where you are polishing yourself, and of course you are enlightening so many people. So that's wonderful. That's commendable.
But it wasn't always the case that I wanted to be a teacher.
Okay.
But I happened to become a teacher because some of my friends forced me to come to this profession, and so temptation was so high. I thought, let's explore some new territories. So I started giving some of the classes. I took some holidays or some offs from my office. So that's how I started giving some classes at my home. But later on, I decided let's start an institute where my friend like forced me. I must use this word.
Mhm.
So he found a room where I could teach. So he brought everything
Wow.
that was necessary for like for an institution, like board, chairs, and he told me let's try for 1 month.
Mhm.
I'm really looking forward to seeing you teaching. So then I started, and I started enjoying that profession, and that's how I came into this profession, and I'm still enjoying.
Okay, so I would say you were gemmy enough to have such a good friend who just helped you to find your niche. I would say. I don't know you are going to continue
Hmm.
in this way, or you just in future we never know what is going to happen.
Hmm.
So what do you think?
Candidly speaking, at that particular time, he was a partner of someone else. So he
Okay.
was running an institution with somebody else. So they
Okay.
had a spark between them. So
Mhm.
they could not continue that. So I did not know the story behind that. So he came to
Okay.
me and he started pushing me for that. And when
Mhm.
I came to this profession later on, I got to know that he wanted me to be the competitor of that other teacher.
Teacher.
So I never
Okay.
wanted to be anybody's competitor. I never wanted to be a teacher. So you can say that I'm an accidental teacher.
But that's it. But what happens for our goodwill, I believe.
Yes.
Yes.
Hmm.
So
So
I wish
sometimes we
I.
are destined to do things that we never
Yes.
thought of doing.
Exactly. Exactly. So you deal with young people, I guess, all the students
Yes.
from college or school, right? So these days it's been said that our youth is lagging behind in moral values or kind of stuff. So what do you think? Because you deal with young
Yes.
minds. So what's
I have students from all over, like so all age group, I must say
college?
that, but mostly youngsters are coming. So yes, you are pretty much right that they are losing like moral values somewhere. So I try to instill those values by sitting next to them, and
Mm.
I try to narrate different kind of stories and sometimes some anecdotes which can help them to understand what was there, which could be a bit more knowledgeable for them. So then they try to listen to me sometime, because when you know somebody is sitting next to you and who is a bit more experienced than you, so
Yes,
then you happen to listen to them. So
exactly.
like that's what I create in my, like this is the kind of environment that I mostly create in my classroom, where people come and listen to each other rather than simply imposing their thoughts.
Mm.
So even I don't do that. So we simply start learning like in an environment where everybody is considering themselves a learner.
That's a good thing. And but I have just noticed you have a very I would say you are pretty good at phonic sounds, because the way you're pronouncing, I know all the things, but the thing is I did my masters in 2005 and we had a
Mhm.
different scenario. We didn't have these kind of things. No, we were
Even I
not
have
told.
done masters in English, but I don't mention it always because a lot of people start asking questions from here and there. I did it from IGNU.
Okay. You know what? I have started telling this earlier. I never used to tell any
Mention
like
that.
I never mentioned, because of course when you are I feel that that time I was not confident enough to
Mhm.
resolve or to solve the queries of people. But now I am pretty confident. Whatever. Mostly people come with the question, ma'am. Once we are masters in this language, we'll be able to speak fluently or kind of stuff. And when I did my masters, I had that same thinking. Once I would be completing my masters in English, I would be fluent in this language, but it never happened actually, because I
Mhm.
don't think so. Masters has anything to do with
Yeah,
spoken skills. Mhm.
masters in any
They-
subject is not the only criteria to simply
yes,
understand that person has got mastery. So it's a
right.
kind of a subject, or I must say history of a particular
Particular.
language that we simply go through different aspects of language,
Yes.
poetry, and plays are there. So there are many more things. And
Mm.
like you might have, as you have already done a masters, so you know that the things that we learned or the things
Yes.
that we went through, so they are
Hmm.
not into practice anymore,
Right.
because we are not going to talk about Shakespeare all the time, or Milton or
Exactly.
Chaucer. So what?
Right.
Mhm. So when you go on, like you are very much into online teaching, and I'm from offline background, so I
Mhm.
teach mostly offline. So what are the challenges that you face while teaching online?
Okay. I would say the first and foremost is to make your classes intriguing,
Mm-hmm.
because when you deal with young minds, let's say you have age group like students of age group of 7, 8, 9 years, because I deal
Okay.
with these age groups also.
Mm-hmm.
So it's literally hard not to crack to make them indulge in
Yes.
online activities and kind of.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to be very energetic, zealous all the time.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter whether I'm not in a good frame of mind. I need to be attentive all the time, and in that full, like I need to be in full spirits, I would say, high spirits actually. And second thing, if you teach offline, I guess you get more visibility, because in a way you are having conversation, and you are able to make them understand in a way. Online has so many restrictions. I don't get
Yes.
students easily. It's a hard nut to crack because there are so many institutions. Of course, there are so many offline institutes also. But once you have that establishment, and once people started acknowledging you, you get students also. You get that environment also. Being because teaching or like it's not my first priority. I'm a homemaker. My first priority is my family, taking care of my family. It's just that I am trying to turn my hobby or my passion into my profession, and
Okay.
it's not a smooth ride because I have to tackle so many problems. First of
So
all,
we can
people
say
come.
it has never been a cakewalk.
Yes, actually, that's the thing. I'm still juggling
Okay.
to convince people that okay, come here, I'll teach you or I'll teach your kids. But the thing is, I don't think so. It's going to be
I feel
a
very
very easy thing.
restricted. I feel very restricted when I go online because when somebody is
Actually,
in person, so when I'm sitting next to someone, so I feel more of a confident. Like it's not
yes.
like that I do not feel confident while teaching online, but
Hmm.
online, as you mentioned earlier, that there are certain restrictions
Yes.
along with the online classes. So the same is here. You
Hmm.
have to be there and you have to look into the screen all the time. So it is
Yes.
very like a exhausting. I must say that mentally we become very exhausted like when we are
Yes.
continuously going for the classes. Might be
Hmm.
a student is coming for 15 minutes or 20 minutes over 1 hour, but if you
Yes.
have one more session afterwards, so then it
Hmm.
becomes very much tedious task or very difficult
Exactly.
task.
And if it comes like let's say batches, you can easily tackle batches offline. Online classroom is a bit restricted because if you want to have a debate kind of activity, so there are some students, they don't have good internet, good connectivity. So
Yes.
sometimes someone is turning their camera off, so I'm all the time I am just screaming turn your camera
Yes.
on, turn your camera on. So these kind of that then your
Yes.
debate or that activity doesn't go in that flow the way I want.
Yes. I
So
couldn't agree
there are so
more.
many. Yes, there are
Yeah,
so many
because
restrictions.
during the lockdown, I
Mm.
I tasted that medicine. So I had the similar
Okay.
kind of experience where it was very difficult. Sometimes people are too shy to come and
Yes.
speak, making an eye to eye contact. They think that they are being judged and they are
Mm.
individually sitting there and looking into the camera. When you are in your class, then you get moral, like not moral.
Mm.
I must say that you get a bit more confidence by the people around you. Sometimes
Exactly.
you are able to relate with the people those who are sitting next to you that this person is not that much great but still he's speaking, so I should also push myself. So they start pushing
Yes.
their boundaries, but here we have to push them all the time. There is
Yes.
nobody
Yes.
else.
Exactly, and being a tutor, I find myself restricted because I know I have more potential to make them learn, to make them understand the basic essence of this language. But due to this online platform, I'm not able to do the same. So yes, but I would say that I am trying. Actually, I'm not vegetating. I'm just trying to spend my time constructively. So that's what matters to me. And nowadays, I have. Started having these kind of conversation on Skype. So I can see myself on a different zone now. So that's what actually my goal is, I would say.
I have recently started these interactions, so I think this is the fourth or fifth one. So I
Okay.
don't I don't have that much experience of simply going one on one like this, but I am enjoying that. It is as you mentioned a word
Hmm.
there, intriguing. So this is intriguing for me also, the kind of
Exactly.
interaction that we have with someone. And there are many people like you, those who are into this profession. So we learn a lot. So there are certain things that you are pretty much good at, so I can simply take a leaf out of your book, and that's all. That's
Yes.
how the things go.
Yes, actually, when I would like to tell you one thing. When I guess watched your first short, it was short. YouTube recommends us the
Okay.
same videos. No, when we just search, when I search, because I usually search English related videos, so YouTube also recommends you the same thing. So I watched your first short. So your voice, the way you were presenting, it just rang a bell. So then I came to know that Mr. Idiom. I was like, okay, he is speaking the same way he used to speak. I had an introduction with him. Then I got to know that you are his mentor, and I was like, okay, then I have to go for this session because I am always looking for fruitful sessions where I can learn so many things. So, but yes, you have trained him so well. I can see that reflection of yours in Sunil. So wonderful, commendable job.
Yeah, like I see myself through my students.
Yes.
So the kind of the problems that I faced while learning different things. So I think that I am able to relate with them, and they are quite into learning. It's not like
Hmm.
they are always distracted here and there. So if I guide them to do something, so they are pretty much on the right path. They do not simply go here and there. If I tell them to simply sit, they sit. If I tell them to simply get up, they get up. So if you
Wow.
have that kind of a bonding, it's not
Hmm.
about simply pushing someone or forcing
Yes.
someone or imposing some kind
Hmm.
of knowledgeable stuff which they are not able to digest. So
Yes.
I simply check their digestion first, and
Hmm.
according to that, I simply start feeding them.
Exactly. And I think language learning is not about cramming or mugging up all
Yes.
the concepts. It's about that understanding. And I have come across so many learners. Actually, they don't have that basic knowledge of this language in terms of grammar also, but they're juggling way far, way far. And I literally want to do something, but the thing is, some credit goes to our education system. Because if I
Yes.
talk about villages, even still, I belong to a very small village in Himachal. Still, teachers, they don't know how to teach English as a language. I'm not talking about a subject. They don't have that knowledge of phonic sounds. You will be amazed, or you will be shocked to know. In our schools, it's been students are taught in this way: phonic sounds a, b, b, c, k.
Yes.
So it hurts me because if we are not strengthening their roots, we are just misleading them. So that's the reason
They are
our students.
watering the flowers only, like the
Yes,
good, the student, those who are like cream, you must say that the cream of the
exactly.
that the
Hmm.
people those who are already good, so they
Good.
simply focus on those people sometime. And
Yes.
I have been a teacher for a few years, so I have taught people even more uh like not experienced, I must say that that should not be the right word, more knowledgeable than me in
Hmm.
terms of different subjects. And many people came to me, even I was asking myself a question that would I be able to simply continue with that. So
Yes.
I had to burn the midnight oil to get all those lessons in time. So I used to prepare the lesson plans and everything. And when you have students from science background, commerce
Hmm.
background, of different kind of professions, even medical students, so they have different questions
Right.
which seem
Yes.
jargons to us, because I am not from that particular
Hmm.
field. So that
Yes.
is a very different kind of a field, because I might not be aware of those technicalities of that particular profession. If somebody asks me a question, I know only the medical professions like radiologist or
Ah.
gynecologist or
Right.
pediatrician. But if somebody goes into the depth, so I
Hmm.
can't simply fathom that particular depth that they have from that particular uh, profession. So it seems difficult at times. But
Yes.
now I have learned that art.
Actually, I can completely resonate with you. I started taking online classes, I guess, during lockdown. So before that, I was, of course, I was taking tuition classes, but offline. And that too, I used to teach English as a subject, or each and every subject, basically. So when I started, it was a restarting of Neha as a tutor of English language, I would say, because as I told you, I did my master's in 2005, and there was a long gap. I was actually not in touch with all these things. And when I restarted, I came across so many new things. We were taught three forms of verb. Now students know five forms of verb: Z as Z when it comes to phonic sounds. So many trivial things. But as a language teacher, I should know. I should have that
Yes.
knowledge. So I had
Even
also
we
I
have
had
to study something that they do
yes.
not have to study. We have to
Hmm.
keep everything like up to date.
Right.
Yes,
It was
carry on.
yes, for me it wasn't that I I have to sit here in front of my laptop and just deliver the lecture. As a teacher, I had to learn the ropes first. So I did. I also want the midnight oil, I would say, because I literally work harder and harder to get that confidence in me, so that if I come across any question, I'll be able to answer that. So it's not easy to become a teacher. It's not easy to be a tutor.
Yes.
Right? If you're passionate about your profession, what I believe. So
Yes.
that's it. And
Yeah, your passion
I just
makes you
want
do
to.
things. As I am
Mhm.
from a Hindi medium background, so we started learning English in sixth class.
Uh,
They were teaching
right.
us alphabets, and after that, this, that, these, those. It doesn't
Mhm.
mean that they were teaching and we were getting everything. We were
Mhm.
not into studies at that time. I started my English journey when I was in like final year of my graduation. I started
Mhm.
paying attention. Before that, I was really bad at English. Even I scored, I told in some of the videos, you might have heard that 33 out of 100 in 12th
Oh,
class. And in graduation,
okay.
I scored 40 because 40 was a minimum marks for passing because I was
Passing.
from history honors. And
Okay.
you know that for an honors student, we
Mm.
were supposed to get 40 out of 100. So that was a
Mm.
subsidiary subject. So Hindi medium all the time, and most of the feelings do not come from inside.
Inside.
Like when you are uh, grown in a kind of environment where
Mm.
people speak English all the time, then things are different. You can relate
Different.
yourself, you can be more expressive and use your words in a different way. But
Different.
when a person comes from a background like a Hindi background and suddenly they are given like something called English, so it
English.
does not simply come along. It takes
Exactly.
time. It seems that somebody is translating. I have
Hmm.
seen some number of my students. Some of them are pretty much into learning vocabulary. It is not a problem, but the problem is that how do you use that particular word in a right context? If your
Exactly.
learners are able to understand your basic sentence structures and basic grammar and everything is going in the right direction, why do you want to use those fancy words?
Exactly.
So
Right.
it becomes very difficult. If you want to
Hmm.
show your credentials, you can simply post that online that I have done
Online.
this, I have done that.
Right.
And to be very honest, I'm from a Hindi background. I did not
Hmm.
know much about Hindi, and still I know how to say no.
No. Yes, that's it. That's it, actually. So, yes, there are so many things when I teach my students. So, I just ask very one basic question. It's all about because everyone asked me the same question, ma'am, how to enrich your vocabulary, how to learn words, how to use them in your daily life conversation. So, what I do one activity. I ask them to make sentences. I just give very simple word book.
Okay.
Everyone comes with I love reading books give us knowledge. So then I tell them, why don't you go for I need to book a cab? We can use book in this perspective also, no? Let me book a room for two. And same
Yes.
light, same with light, so everyone turn the light on, turn the light off. So I told them, okay, we can also use this as I love wearing light colors, or my face
Mhm.
lights up when I see my son. Because we just try to cram. We get a word and we are just in that what to say,
Yes.
haste in just cramming that, and we don't we always give the
Visualize. We do not visualize that word.
yes, visualize also. And if I say in a very technical term, whenever we learn a word, we should learn, of course, its meaning, then comes pronunciation, and we miss always a very crucial part, that is function of
Part
the
of
word.
speech. Yeah, part of
Part
speech.
of speech, exactly. So people come to me, ma'am, how to pronounce? Is it content or content? I tell them both are correct. It depends on the function of the word. If you use this word as a verb, of course it is
Mhm.
content, and as a noun it is content. So I was also not aware of these technicalities. When I restarted, when I tried to, as I mentioned, learn the ropes, then I came across these basic things. As a
Yes.
teacher, I should know. But now I try to impart these kind of things. Whenever I am telling them anything, I tell them to understand the concept. But don't make it burden. Don't just take it, oh God, it is kind of a big thing to do. How to understand the function? It's as simple as it's I would say as easy as ABC. So that's it. So I have so many ideas. I
Mhm.
always try to think out of box, but I am restricted to this online platform.
Yeah.
Um, so sometimes as a teacher, I feel disappointed because I literally want to connect with all
You
those
can
students.
easily get along with the things because once you start using, as you are right now, you're talking to me. So that is also a part of technology, and the more we use, the more we get. Because we will become well versed with technology by
Yes,
using it. But
exactly.
honestly speaking, I still use my conventional ways to learn things. I take a register and a pen when I listen to something online,
Same.
or when I watch a particular video. I start writing those beautiful sentences and words. So that's how even I learn the pronunciation. If I do not know the meaning, I can understand that by the context in
Context.
which a
Right.
particular word has been used. Because
Hmm.
sometimes it is not the meaning that
Huh.
simply makes you use that. Sometimes there are some metaphoric uses.
So many things
So
are
we need
there.
to understand those
Yes.
like things, but these things come later on. First, we need to
Later.
understand the basic things. And nowadays, you know that everybody wants to learn everything in a day. So which is quite possible,
Exactly.
not possible,
Yes.
because English cannot be learned in an overnight. It
No, no.
requires a lot of patience also. It's a language.
Exactly.
It carries
Yes.
emotion, and we have to express ourselves using those words with that particular emotion that we want to convey using that word, because that is missing somewhere. That human touch is missing. We become more robotic when we
Robot.
speak. I have seen that people, they start cramming, as you said, that they start cramming
Hmm.
everything, and they go on and on and on, and whether they are making a particular sense or not, and they
Hmm.
do not understand that if somebody is listening to them, so that person is paying attention or not. We should consider,
Yes.
we should
Right.
think about the listener first. If you think about your listeners, you will always become a good speaker.
That I would say in today's era, everyone wants to speak. That's the thing. No
Yes,
one
nobody
wants to
wants to
listen.
listen. Yes.
That's the thing. Many people come to me. They just want to speak. Ma'am, I want to learn without learning grammar. I told them, okay, okay, I am not telling you to learn the whole grammar, but there are
Yes.
some specific topics we can't ignore. But
Yes.
and there are people. I came across so many people who speak, but they speak anything. They don't bother about a correct sentence structure. Of course, I also make so many mistakes, but the thing is, most of the time I am able to rectify those mistakes,
Mhm.
and I try to be correct at times. There are so many people who speak anything and they are pretty confident because all they want to speak up. उनको बोलना है without knowing the
Yes.
basic concepts of English language.
That, even I
So
give that example when there are a number of students, those who are sitting in the class. So sometimes I say that how many of you have come here to learn English, or how many of you have come here to speak English?
speak up.
Everybody raises their hand that we want to speak, we want to speak. Then I ask, who wants to listen?
Hmm.
Is
Yes.
somebody dying to listen to you? What is in
Hmm.
you that somebody is dying to listen to? So you need to bring that particular thing in you so that people would enjoy listening to you. They will give all ears. When you speak,
Yes.
then it will be a treat for someone. So you should
Exactly.
speak in a manner that can be understood by even a fifth class student.
Hmm.
Right now, I'm trying to speak in a manner which can be understood by many more people, because this video is
Right.
not about us.
Yes.
There will be some other learners, those who would definitely get benefit out of this video. And a lot of people send me messages, and sometimes they want to talk to me. Even I
Right.
love talking to people, but sometimes, as I'm running an offline institute,
Right.
so
It's
it becomes very difficult to manage
difficult.
time.
Exactly. I understand that. Uh, I just lost my train of thought. I was about to say something when you were. Yes, there are some people who
Listen.
just flaunt themselves
Yes.
without being, cautious that if the person sitting in front of them, him or the audience, if they be able to
Yes.
understand or not. It's not always about flaunting yourself. I
Yes.
know now we have conversation. You had that idea about me. I had that idea about you. I know you are pretty good at your communication skills, right? But the thing is, you are, if you try to flaunt yourself, it would come as a something that is very I what to say, that is very cheesy.
Yes.
So We should be, yes, we should be presentable. We should be confident, but
And
yes, don't.
understandable also.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah, if
Right.
I like happen to use a particular word, so I need to go for the background of like I need to give certain background, like background in the sense some initial sentences, and afterwards I need to use some more sentences which can be like kind of a question for a person to understand. Like if I simply say that I'm very magnanimous, so suddenly a person will start scratching his head what that
Right.
particular word means. So
Means.
we don't have to simply pull anything out of our cap which is going to be difficult to digest for other person. So we have to
Yes.
cater to the need of different people, because this
Different
video is
people.
not going to be restricted to 2 or 3 people.
Exactly.
So there is a
Exactly.
vast audience, or there are a number of people
Yes.
those who might get benefit out of it. Even we can later on watch that and realize our own mistakes.
Right. And I think you have given such a strong message, because many people, they just believe in showing off. Yes. So it's not always about showing off. We need to be very polite and humble at times so that we can connect with our audience. That's what matters.
Yes.
Audience can be our students, anyone who just want to, because so many people will watch, of course, this video. They
Yes.
are going to watch our students. कोई देखे ना देखे, our students are going to watch, so at least they should have that smile and they should learn so many new things. ये ना हो कि they at the last they are just scratching their heads,
Yeah.
क्या बोल गई
Even
दोनों.
my goal is not to become famous through these kind of videos and all. Otherwise, I would have started it way back. But I'm still doing that because people can allow people are online. Earlier, they were offline, so I was
Oh,
offline. If my audience, my students, and other people are there, so I will do something at least a little bit of online content where people can get benefit out of those videos and the
yes.
kind of material that I'm going to upload. So that's
Mhm.
how we can help each other. It's not about helping other, it's about helping ourselves.
Ourselves, exactly. I believe the same thing. And actually it is not easy to record yourself, to edit your
Yes,
videos and upload.
really.
It is time consuming. Also it
You
needs
know,
energy, patience.
I try to record my videos during midnight, and sometimes there are some dogs outside. Sometimes I have a son at my home also, so it's very difficult and very difficult to get that kind of like
Yes.
calmness or like
uh,
silence around,
Silence.
because we need all those things. And sometimes internet is not working.
Not working.
Sometimes there are some other
Yes.
problems, and editing
Problem.
part is also something which is killing people. So they have to spend quality time of their life in editing.
Yes, and there are so many. It's not only about time. You are facing so many health issues. I
It
have
goes, yeah.
cervical problem, eyesight problem. But the thing is, I want to connect with people, so that is the thing. I'm doing these kind of things. Okay, I
Yeah,
have
these videos
YouTube
are
channel.
very well received by many more people, and I really
Yes,
feel blessed to be in that particular profession where people see a teacher with a lot of respect and
yes,
like a lot of love and like in form of messages and comments under the videos.
yes, yes. No, you are doing commendable job. I told you. I told you. I guess yesterday you were live. There was kind
Yeah.
of activity. I missed that live, but yes, I watched after it was done.
Yeah, I
I got
try
a
to push my
notification.
students rather than being
That's
online all the time. I try to push them. I know they are not very good at that, but still, if they get exposure, because you know that now young generation has to be very much compatible to the new
compatible.
technology and everything. So there are
Yes.
people those who run away from camera. They are very camera shy. So I
Hmm.
try to force them. No, you have to do it. Might be I'm your biggest enemy right now, but later on you will have
Yes,
a different feeling for me.
for me.
So now I have number like thousands of people are working in different organization and
Mhm.
other professions. I've helped so many people. So I
Okay.
sit with them, and whenever there is a vocabulary class, I start speaking, and they take their registers out, and then they start writing. Because I don't speak in this manner. If I want to
Mhm.
give vocabulary, so then I turn my different
Yes.
channel on, and then I start giving
Right.
them.
Hmm. That's actually, you know what, the environment you are giving to your students. If someone really wants to be good at speaking, It is much needed. This is the only way you
Yeah,
you will.
exposure is necessary.
Yes, exposure. No matter what, how many vocabulary words we know, no matter what, how many idioms and phrases we know, no matter how good,
how much knowledge that I possess.
yes,
If my students are not able to speak well, so what is the use of that knowledge?
exactly. And see, your students have so many things they know. They may know so many things, but until and unless they are coming across these kind of activities,
Yes.
because when you are in public, you never know what the person is going to ask you.
Yes.
That is a real situation. That is a real situation. When we go in our kids' PTMs, we
Yes.
have that conversations with the teachers. Then we come to know where actually we stand. So these kind of activities really do well, and keep up the good work. It was such a fruitful session with you, and I knew it earlier also. I was pretty sure that it is going to be a very useful conversation, and I just hope to meet you again very soon.
Yeah, we will definitely have more conversations like this, more engaging conversation and interactions like that. So it's lovely talking to you, and I have learned a lot of things from you also. And I am pretty much happy that I am talking it to an enthusiast, as you said earlier, even in your mail,
Yes,
you mentioned that I'm an
I
English
am actually.
enthusiast. So yes,
Yes,
I'm pretty much like, look at that. I'm pretty much full of energy after talking to you. So
so,
nice talking to you. We'll definitely get connected.
yes. Okay, so good day. Have a good day,
Yeah, bye.
and
Bye for now. Take care.
bye. Take care.